What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Love and Lock Talk. It's your girl V, and this is episode 12. And this week we are discussing zodiac signs. We're discussing all things zodiac signs. Right now I'm here with my co-host, April Love.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on?
Not much. Just, ready to get into the topic, I guess.
Let's get into a topic. Let's talk about which zodiac sign is the freakiest. Like, who gets it in the most? I've seen a couple of different opinions. I have my own opinion, but what's yours?
So I've seen different opinions, but when I was looking at it, it seemed like your sign is the freakiest. It was like generally across the board, a Scorpio is considered the freakiest sign. You guys are some super freaks in the sheets. Now, I did see that it really would depend. So I was actually shocked to see that they said Libras were pretty good, and not necessarily because they had the sex drive that Scorpios had, but more so because they're just more sexually fit for people. Apparently they love to please, and they're willing to work on whatever is pleasurable to who they're with. But me personally, speaking, it really kind of depends on what you're looking for,
or what your idea of freaky even is.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think Scorpios are at the top of the list. just because I am one, and I know what I feel like, so I can just assume that all Scorpios are the same, and we have a very sexually charged type of, I don't know, it's an energy. I know that I've heard Libra as well. I've heard the same thing that you did. I don't think I've ever dated a Libra. What month is that even?
I think that's like September, October. So I have Libra sisters, and I told my mom that I jokingly would say, like, oh, you may get some hoes out of them because your Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose are considered Libras, and they kind of run through them. But I personally haven't. Have I? No, I don't think so. No, I haven't dealt with a Libra to know, what that's all about. But I do have a friend that is dealing with a Libra, and I will say she said that old boy is laying that pipe down on her like something serious. Like it doesn't even matter what size it is. But she said when it's happening, it's something serious. So maybe there is some truth about Libras. I mean, like I said, I think it's really kind of just depending on what you consider freakiest. And I don't necessarily know that freaky equates to they're really, like, that's the best sex that you've had.
Right. I think it has a lot to do with chemistry. Like, it depends. I don't think that sign negates whether the sex is going to be freaky, good, whatever. Because if you don't have chemistry with the person, then you don't even get to that point. But I do think that it has a lot to do with the personality of the person, and just compatibility, period. Being passionate is a very strong trait of a Scorpio. And also, being passionate is a strong trait of a Libra. I mean, not a Libra, a Leo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, those two, I've never dated a Leo either. I haven't dated many signs. Most of my exes were Geminis. all of my exes, except for one, were Geminis. And that's why that shit didn't work. Because they are nuts. But we'll get into that later.
Well, I will agree with that. I have a friend that's a Leo, and just kind of just hearing what she said about her sexual experiences, she seems like she would probably be very like passionate, or I think it's just that willingness to please somebody. Now I would say I've had I currently have a Pisces, and I think he's pretty freaky. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he be putting it down. So, it really, I don't know. But I haven't dealt with a Scorpio. I did talk to a Scorpio or two Scorpios before. And while I didn't have sex with them, I could tell that they were pretty, like, sexually charged people. They just seemed like they were hornballs. Like, that's probably if you were with them, but to be like energizing, go bunny all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I have had sex with a Scorpio. I know I have, and I think two sexually charged people create a negative. Like it was not a pleasurable experience. It was very just, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it. It was very odd. It wasn't anything like I've ever had. And I think that was because we were both Scorpios. I just don't think two Scorpios work sexually because we're so extra and, passionate. And it's like, okay, we're both going hard. And it's like, where else is there to go from here? It's weird. It's weird. So I do, there's something to that I think that we need to look into a little deeper. But have you dated somebody the same sign as you, or you're an Aquarius, right?
I'm an Aquarius. So I was looking, because I was trying to see like where we fall on the thing, and we were like stuck in the middle. And I think this is why we're stuck in the middle, because there's levels to the freakiness. And I think that Aquarius, we have a bad rap, and some of it may be true in terms of our inability to want to please people, and not necessarily please people, but be emotionally connected to them. And I think that is probably a big point in having sex with somebody. So, we probably were not getting too emotionally involved with people in general for them to experience good sex with us. However, I have not dated an Aquarius, so I don't know, but I have had, again, people. I had a male Aquarius friend who, I was also cool with women that he had sex with, and they say he was putting it down, and I think that the reason why he may have been putting it down, or someone who would deal with an Aquarius would think that, is because since we're not emotionally invested any other time when we have sex, we may be more emotionally giving. You get what I'm saying? So it may be more pleasurable for someone that is like, oh, damn, this nigga he ain't never doing this, he ain't never doing that. But then when we fuck, here he is, he looking in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? So
confusing you.
I think that based on what I saw, you guys do hold that title of the freakiest, and my experience with Scorpios would suggest that. But I think in the end, it's really kind of like, and this is everything, like what you deem to be freaky. You know what I'm saying? What your preference is in the bed. And while somebody may be freaky, I don't necessarily mean that they would be satisfying to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Not everybody's freak level is the same. And some people might find some people's freak level way too much. You just, it depends, like I said, on the person. It depends on your connection. And I remember a while ago, you said that you have to have that emotional connection in order for you to be sexual with a person. So you know, there are people like you out there who just don't have sex with, you know, whoever to say, oh, you know, this sign and this sign is great. They could just be fucking somebody and not have no emotional ties to them whatsoever. So I don't know. I mean, it's open for interpretation, I guess. But from what I know about just myself, I know that I have a really high sex drive, higher than most. But my husband is a Taurus, and you know, his sex drive is not as high as mine. So, you know, that it can be a little bit of a struggle. I mean, because it's like you wanna be understanding that everybody is not like you, but you know, you can't help it. Whenever you just get the urge, you get the urge. So I don't know. I don't expect anybody to be as freaky as me. It's not possible. But I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't have any more to add, but when we come back, we're going to get into this weekly dirt. So stay tuned.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Listen, let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM.
Okay, y'all, welcome back. This is Love and Lock Talk, and this week we are discussing Zodiac Signs. But first, let's get into the weekly dirt. What do you have for us this week, April Love?
All right, so I'm April Love, and this is our weekly dirt. There have been a lot going on in the world. It seems like, just everything is going on right now. But it actually has been pretty nice not to see that much celebrity tea these past 2 weeks. I'm sure the celebrities appreciate it way more than I do. But let's dive in there. Let's see what we got. So, baseball player Carl Crawford was arrested for domestic violence with a girlfriend. His ex-fiancée, Evelyn, from not Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, they're all the same to me, sorry, found her name in the mix. I guess people thought that she may have said in the past that she experienced domestic abuse from him, but she wanted to let us know that that was not the case. She made a video to let folks know that she had not been domestically abused and did not share that experience with him at all, was not intimidated or felt disrespected in their relationship. And she wanted to put that out there so that her son, they share a son together, would never grow up reading a story suggesting otherwise. Clearly, people are caught up in what is going on today with George Floyd and police brutality, all the protests and the rioting. So, and looking at the comments, even when you do get these celebrity tea, people are like, we don't care. We don't care. Like, we don't.
I've seen that.
Moving on, apparently Faith Evans was arrested the other week. Also, yeah,
my girl.
Also, for domestic violence. She is facing domestic violence charges, and I mean, I guess she is not playing with Stevie J. Hopefully all is good. You know, they I don't know what to say about Stevie. People were like, yo, it's Stevie's fault. I don't support domestic violence, but I know Stevie did something. I don't know. Look, Stevie is off the chain. I thought he was, getting himself together with Faith. Hopefully they just had a down moment and she had to put some pause on him to let him know that don't do it. Don't relapse. We had a good thing going. So hopefully all is well with them. Speaking of not playing with somebody, basketball player J.R. Smith was not playing with a protester the other weekend. He was seen beating the guy up. J.R. Smith said that the dude broke his car window while out protesting, and I guess he was like, nah, you got the wrong one. And he later came out initially he came out saying, look, this is what I did, this is what happened, and he was like, yeah, he was about it. But like all celebrities, when they show or express their true feelings, they have to come back and apologize. So he came back and apologized and said that was not his finest hour and a bunch of bullshit. Okay, cool, we got it. Tory Lanez, along with many others, called out Shakina, I think that's her name, for crying on live about the looting that was going on in Atlanta. Not sure. Shakina. Not sure if she's still best friends with Tiny. But she is on Love and Hip Hop now. Folks took a small clip from her live where she was seen crying, saying that Gucci ain't did nothing to y'all. Did nothing to y'all. Clearly, she shared the same sentiments of many of the Black business owners in Atlanta. Folks was not feeling Atlanta getting looted and messed up because they said and they felt like Atlanta was too Black for that shit. And so she, in that live, was expressing that she did not think that people should be out there messing up Atlanta, but they took a small clip where she happened to be crying and specifically talking about Gucci. While some were crying, others were straight going the fuck off about the looting. Trina was not here for it. Trina was heard on her show with Trick Daddy saying that there should be a curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and that folks were running around like animals that escaped from the zoo. She went on. She went on to say that she didn't agree with them tearing up her city in Miami and that it was personal because she had a friend who was a single mother who had been locked down like the rest of us for this, these past few months due to coronavirus. And she just wasn't here for it. She wasn't here for people messing up her city. She, like many other celebrities, had to come back and later apologize. Of course, her arch enemy read her to filth, Kaya. And my question to you, V, is do you think she should have apologized for her thoughts? Was she wrong? Do you think that she was referring to actual protesters as animals?
Yes, I think that she was. I don't see where the confusion lies. Like, I've seen a lot of people in the comments like, oh, that's not what she meant. What did she mean then? Like, I don't see what else she could have possibly meant. She was going off, and that was from like the gut. Like, she was going off. Even Trick tried to save her, and she was still going off. So she felt that way. That's how she felt. And she said what the fuck she said. So yeah, she meant it. And I think she definitely did need to apologize. And I think she did. Was it sincere? Who knows? But she did apologize because she knows she fucked up. But, she already leaves a bad taste in my mouth from her superior attitude that she has, that she's
that bitch.
royalty and she's above every whatever. Like, girl, like, you ain't been popping in a minute. Like, if it wasn't for Love and Hip Hop, nobody would even be thinking about you. So Kaya I'm not a Kaya fan, but she be getting her together. Her reads are legendary. So I like Kaya on that one.
I'm going to say, when I heard her going off, did I personally think she was talking about protesters? No. I think Trayvon Martin mother said it best, that the protesters are protesting and the looters are looting. And so with that being said, when she said what she said, I did not think, oh my gosh, she's talking about the protesters that are out there that are trying to fight against police brutality and have equality amongst our fellow brother man out here. I did not think that she was talking about them. I thought she was talking about people that are out there going and trying to get some shit, come up off some shit or tear up some shit. And do I think she should have said, call them animals? No. But in another situation, if let's say this wasn't going on and some people just came and fucked up your shop or fucked up somebody's shop, people would say negative shit about them. That's just facts. They would call them all types of names, not just animals. So
they already are, though. Then it's mainly white people. And I think it's the choice of the words. I think that if she would have put thought into what she said before she said it, it would have been received better. But because she used the word animals and was going on extra hard and whatever the case may be, she's getting dragged. And you just got to think before you open your mouth.
I think that honestly is the case. I think it's a bit of how she said it, and I think it was just a matter of what was going on during that time. And like I said, this thing of putting protesters and looters in the same box with each other and saying, okay, if she's referring to the looters as animals, then she's referring to all the protesters out there as animals. And I just personally, I don't think that was the case. I think, like you said, she should have thought before she spoke. And I mean, hey, the argument on the other side is that, well, and I think Trick said this, they have insurance. We have insurance. This was also the same thing that was said about people saying stuff with Atlanta being looted. People are like, you guys got insurance. The reality of it is that, yeah, they got insurance, but nobody wants their business tore up. That's just facts. Nobody wants this tore up.
Right.
And the insurance money is not going to hit the next day, the second you find out that your business was fucked up.
Right. It definitely takes time, and it definitely doesn't cover everything. My husband's business partner owns a liquor store in DC. And, he boarded it up because he's like, yeah, I have insurance, but that insurance don't cover all the liquor I got in the store. You know what I'm saying? So you don't think about the loss that they take. Yeah, they have insurance that may repair a window, door, whatever, but it doesn't give back the merchandise that they lost. And some of that stuff they do have to come out of pocket for. So
I think somebody said it. I'm not too sure which celebrity said it, but they were like, oftentimes when something like that happens, a small Black business owner is likely not to recover from that, even if they have insurance. So
right.
I think that was kind of the point that she was getting at. And I just think that, yeah, like you said, she could have worded it differently, but hey, she could apologize and it'd be fake, because it'd be like, this is you said how you felt, the passion
right.
in your voice, in your tone, that's how
there.
You felt, that's how you still feel. So why are you coming back and apologizing to who? For what? For people to still say you're canceled? For people
yeah, they're still saying, they're definitely still saying
so you might
canceled.
as well have it don't mean anything, but we'll move on. last but not least, Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I just wanted to throw this in there because this is a common thing that is going on. Apparently, he spoke in support of Black Lives Matters, and people came back and said, nope, hold up, buddy. You was out here living foul. You got some hate crimes under your belt. You was doing X, Y, and Z. And I personally, this is kind of the thing that I feel like celebrities get themselves into. It's like, when you become a celebrity, you have to somehow be on the straight and narrow. It did not used to be like that, but now that we have social media, you have to be on the straight or narrow, because there is this idea that if you have done something in your past, you do not grow from that. You are what you did. And it doesn't matter if it was 25, 50 years. If you did it, that's who you are today. I don't know if he was like the many celebrities who are being fake in their stance and trying to support, Black Lives Matter. I don't know if the dude really feels that way, if he's changed or what, because he has been a white nigga to a lot of folks, so I don't know, but what are your thoughts on that? Because I think it's all the same. You're finding, I think, even, was it what is his name? The night show person. Not Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel's the other guy. I can't think of his. Yes.
Oh, Jim Fallon.
Had to apologize for blackface during the skit. And we're just seeing all of this, and I really want to know, like, do people really think, like, what are they apologizing for at this point? Because are they really sincere? They're apologizing because they don't want to mess up their money. And I mean, he did a skit on what was the skit on? Was it the
I think it was Saturday Night Live, wasn't it?
Playing, I think, what, Chris Rock.
I
don't know. I just feel like, how many years ago was that? Why is he having to come out now and apologize for something? And where can we say that people grow? Like, I don't want to be held to something I did when I was fucking 16 years old or 19 years old. I don't.
It's definitely hard. It's hard because it's like, people grow, like, people evolve. I know I have. I am definitely not the same person I was 15 years ago. You know what I mean? My views are different. My everything is different. So to say that somebody can't grow and evolve and opinions change, or they've done their research, or somebody put them and explain things further to them to where they understand it better, and then they regret a comment they made 15, 20 years ago, it's possible. So to crucify everyone for their past, especially something so far in the past, it's tough. I don't know. I don't know.
How are you feeling about Marky Mark though? Like, I don't know. But how are you feeling?
I don't know. He committed actual hate crimes. That's not something that you said or you played a character. No, you did something to somebody. You and your homeboys chased down one Black person and did whatever you did. That's deeper to me. So I don't know if he's as easily forgiven as a Jim Fallon or whatever.
So do you think I don't know that he was being fake when he? Okay.
Yes, I think a lot of these celebrities are being fake with the white ones. With
just the white ones. The Black ones are.
Well, the Black ones too. There are some Black ones that I'd be like side eye and like, really, but they're doing it because they feel like they have to. Like, let me just do this so that they don't come in my comments with the bullshit. I'm not trying to hear that. Put that black square up. You know, like let's just dead that, put it on square and keep it moving. Like there's this one cooking lady that I follow on Instagram, and somebody in the comments was just like, okay, Sharon, you're not doing enough for me. You posted that one black square and you haven't mentioned nothing else about what we going through. But that to me, it's tough because like how often are they supposed to speak out? I don't know. This can go forever. This conversation can just go deeper and deeper. I don't really have the answers. I just know that I can tell when somebody is posting something just to keep heat off of them. And I think Marky Mark is one of those people. Mark Wahlberg.
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't really know what's in somebody's heart, but it is very questionable out here. A lot of these posts that you're seeing, we don't know, but we'll leave it at that. I am April Love, and this was our Weekly Dirt.
All right, April Love, thank you so much for the Weekly Dirt. We will be back in a minute, and when we return, we will be discussing the best zodiac signs to date. Stay tuned.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl V from Love Unlocked. And I just want to know, are you tired of online dating, clubs, and bars? How about try a Love Unlocked Singles Mixer? We host events in the DMV area in a fun and safe environment for you guys to meet face-to-face, play games, and get to know each other. And hey, you may even win a prize. Check us out at www.ilovelou.com for more information.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Love Unlocked Talk. And our topic this week is the best zodiac signs to date. April Love, opinion. What is your opinion? What's the best that you've had in your life? If you don't say your current boyfriend's zodiac.
Because he's right here. Yes, I would say that Pisces has been the best to me. I think that, well, I've only had 2 solid relationships, and I've been with my Pisces man for 5 years now. And speaking from the side of being an Aquarius, I think that there are a lot of things in which a Pisces would do that I probably would not experience with other people. And in terms of that emotional side, I really am not this emotionally giving person. So being with somebody that is more emotionally giving, I think that it teaches you a lot, and it does create that balance for me, for an Aquarius. But I do want to say that there are signs that I know is a complete no-no for me. Yeah.
Well, we'll go there. We'll get there. We're going to do the best first. Let's get the best out of the way. Any others that you think are one of the top signs to date?
I personally, and this again is because I'm an Aquarius, so I can only go off of my vibes. I think a Leo would be cool for me. I think that Leo people, I just bang with Leo people in general. And I think that the reason why a Leo person, or even a Gemini, while Geminis may have not been all that great for you, I think a Leo or a Gemini would be cool for me. And while I think that has to do with there being a balance of not being so up under me, that I like about them. They're just they seem a lot more chill in terms of fun to be around, but then also understanding of someone like myself who's an Aquarius who may not always be, again, the most just their type of person. You know, there's a lot of shit that I just simply just don't give a fuck about that a lot of people do give a fuck about. And so they seem to have been the most understanding. So I would say I like a Pisces, and I think a Leo or a Gemini. My brother is an Aquarius, and he is with an Aquarius woman. So I don't know how that works, but I guess it's been working for them. So maybe another Aquarius would be a good sign for me. But in general, because I do want to kind of touch on that. In general, I have heard that, who do we got? I have heard that Cancers are pretty good.
Lies. That is a lie.
Well,
we'll talk about that.
You know how I feel
also
about Cancers. I'm not really all that into them like that. But I heard in terms of dating and that love connection, there can be a top sign. I also hear, and this is very sickening, that Tauruses are, well, that works for you though.
Well, yeah, and that actually, well, go ahead, and what were you going to say about Tauruses?
Tauruses are also a good sign to date and just have that opportunity to fall in love with, because
yes, well,
go ahead.
That's a fact. Because hands down, Taurus, and I've never met, dated, I can't say been friends with my ex-best friend, but we're not best friends anymore. She was a Taurus. And one of my nieces, who I don't talk to anymore, is a Taurus. So the female Tauruses and I clash. But me and my husband are like fluid. It is the most chill, relaxing relationship I've ever been in my entire life. But I can't even put anybody else at the top. There is no top for me. Taurus. Like, that is it. And I mean, I've dated, a lot of people, not in relationships with, but I have dated a lot of people, different signs. And I can honestly say that none of them were at the top. I just disliked something so strongly about each one of those personalities that, it wasn't going to work no matter what. So,
have you dated another Taurus before?
No, this is the first and only.
Okay. So I mean, I'm gonna say for me, because I have dealt with a Taurus before. We clashed, and most of the Taurus people that I know, the way they be moving sometimes, I cannot get down with. Yeah. I can't see it. Like, I see people say, like, oh, Taurus are pretty, like, cool, they're chill, they're one of their solid friends, and I just have not been that fortunate to come across.
That is so crazy. See, like, because I looked up our horoscope when we first started dating, and it did, I think I mentioned this on the show before, that it said that if a Taurus and a Scorpio can make it past the first year, they'll be together forever. And that was like so dope to me, because I'm like, okay, I've never met a Taurus, so this might be it. You know what I mean? But then, there's something else on the Taurus and Scorpio compatibility, the level of understanding. And it, there's one piece in there that says a Taurus man and a Scorpio woman are believers of marriage and prove to be loyal partners. They take their vows very seriously and highly value their relationship. And that is just pure fact. Like, we are like obsessed with each other, and our vows in front of God was like end all be all. There is no, there's nothing else. And I've never felt this with anybody ever. So, and he's so like loyal and so patient and so understanding of my crazy ass that it just works. Like, I can't even describe how bomb it is.
Husband, he is very nice, and so I don't want to take that away from him. I don't want him to feel hating on his whole crew, and this is really upsetting me in my home.
It's upsetting me and my homegirls that you don't like Tauruses.
Like I said, personally, I just haven't caught that good vibe with them. It would be Taurus and Cancers. For me, they're just a no-no. And the Taurus people that I know, the reason why it would be a no-no is because I feel like when things go left, they really go left. And that is just a big no-no for me in general.
Well, they're very stubborn. I will say they can be very stubborn whenever they see, because I don't like, I'm just going to use Taurus people in general, because my best friend and I, who are no longer best friends, because she is very stubborn, as am I. And I'm not texting her first and she's not texting me first. So therefore we'll probably never speak again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how stubborn, and their sign is the bull. Like, and it's fact. They're the most stubborn people I've ever met in my life. But because my husband is my husband, he bends a lot for me. But as far as his stubbornness goes, when he has his head set on something and he really means it, he means it, and he's not budging. He can't change his mind. There's no changing it. He said no, it's no. So, you know, that's the one thing that I can say that's a little annoying. But, you know, it's not many times that happens for us. But I can see it being an issue in a relationship for a lot of people.
That was an issue for me in my relationship with a Taurus, because, you know, it is said that Aquariuses are pretty stubborn people too, and many have said
my sister's an Aquarius.
Always right, and everybody's wrong.
Yes, that's fact. That's facts. I'm so sorry. Like, that's all facts with y'all.
And I will say that, yes, and let me talk my shit. I'm an Aquarius. I do think that a lot of times we are right, and it's not just for the sake of just being right. I think we feel like we are right because we are not like a lot of other signs. We're not very closed-minded people. We're not biased people in terms of like stuff in general. So when we go and approach a situation, we do tend to feel like we're right because we've weighed in many sides to the story. And I think people don't think that we do, but that is the part of our nature as an Aquarius. So when we come to some type of conclusion about something, it is not with a closed mind. While we may be arguing with somebody that is a bit closed-minded, and I feel like a Taurus falls under that closed-mindedness, and it is very problematic for an Aquarius like myself. However, no. I don't want to just I can't really throw too much shade on them, because I have heard in general a lot of other people say that Tauruses are pretty cool, down to earth, solid people. But what were we gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, well, let's get into the worst, because let me just start it off, because I have a lot of work. Okay, I have been not in many relationships. I think in my whole life I've been in 3 relationships. No, 4. Been in 4 real relationships, but I've dated a lot of people. Okay, so let's just start it off. To the best sign to date, or the worst sign to date.
Yeah,
Scorpio, male. Like, all male Scorpios, just cross them out. Like, trash. Throw them away. They are just, I'm sorry, it's just useless. Trash. Just put them in the trash. I remember a guy that I was talking to. He was a Scorpio, and it was just like the most disgusting, like, situation I've ever been in. Because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is everything? Why you argue with me all the time? Everything's an argument. Are you analyzing me? And you, like, it was just like, it was odd. We, like, just the same thing with the sex. We would never it was nowhere to go. And in a conversation or a discussion, it was always a fucking debate. And I don't have the energy to do that. So I think that a Scorpio and a Scorpio definitely cancel each other out. But them as people, just period, there's something wrong. And to go down my list, Aries. My son's an Aries. My current best friend is an Aries. I love them dearly. But my ex was an Aries, and he was so fucking narcissistic that it was just a nightmare. It was really bad. A lot of woe is me, a lot of manipulation. Aries are very conniving individuals. Cancers and Gemini to me are just one and the same. They're both crazy as fuck. They're both two faces, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type shit. And they are the worst, in my opinion. Gemini and Cancer, just together.
Well,
so that's my list.
I touched on it. Top of my list would be a Taurus and a Cancer. I just cannot. And I think Virgos too. I would go as far as to put Virgos in there. My son is a Virgo. There is something about their nature that is just off-putting. And this is not even like just across the board. They're not there. Something's off with them. You do.
I don't know any Virgos, so I can't speak to that.
That are Virgos.
Do I? Oh, I don't know. I don't pay attention. When's a Virgo's birthday?
August.
Oh,
September.
Okay. I got it. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, no. It's not for me. I can't say that I know any male Virgos though. Like I don't know any. I never encountered any, never dated one.
They're just a little too particular for my taste, so I couldn't see myself dating one. Now, I could be friends with probably any sign, but actually dating, I cannot. But I will say, I thought it was pretty interesting that Scorpios were on the top for like the freakiest in terms of like people having these really good sexual experiences with Scorpios. But in terms of dating, they were like top of the list as no-nos. And I will say my experience with a Scorpio, which I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And it was with both of them. I think they were just liars. I think the men.
What? The men. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just a little disclaimer. Male Scorpios.
No, but they were like,
they
it
really
was just like unnecessary lying. Like, okay, so one of the Scorpios had, he had like, a child, a daughter that was, a known thing. And then like all of a sudden he came up the scene with a baby boy. Like he was posting a baby boy. Like this boy was his child. Now he did post a lot of pictures with family members or whatever, but something about his post with this boy who is his son, think, okay, this is your son. So, he was trying to talk to me, and I'm like, oh, didn't you just have a son? Like, you have this infant son, like, what's going on? And he is like, his whole thing was kind of like, why are you asking me about a picture that I posted? And I'm like,
defensive.
Like, your son, or is it not? Like, why are you trying to start an argument? That's essentially what it was.
Right. Yeah. They're very combative, very just ready to be on the defense and ready to just go head to head.
It didn't make
Don't nobody have time for that.
And I just was like, no, nobody. We're not about to argue over a post that you posted over your son. And I'm just asking you, is that your son? But Aries, my father is an Aries, and I probably would not connect with an Aries either. It's just something about hot-headed people. Hot people are overly emotional people. I don't want to feel like every time there's a situation or a disagreement, because I am one to possibly disagree with you, I don't want to feel like we got a beef. You know, I don't feel like our relationship is about to go completely left because I don't agree with you. And
emotional is a great word.
Emotional is for Aries and a Cancer. Those are my biggest pet peeves. I feel like I, as an Aquarius, I want to be in a space where I can feel the way that I feel and you could feel the way that you feel, and me not feel like, okay, this is going to be a problem because we have difference of opinions. Because as an Aquarius, I like difference of opinions. I just don't want to feel like I'm the devil if I have, if I don't agree with you, or if I do something that upsets you. I don't want to feel like it's the end of the world at that moment. So signs that are hot-headed, are extra stubborn, and will argue and take it to next level shit, they don't work for me.
Yeah, they don't work for me either. And it's unfortunate that, you have this bad taste in your mouth about Tauruses. But like I said, this is the first and only Taurus I've ever met. So what you are saying very well may be true for the rest of them. I just know that my husband is completely different than any human I've ever met in my life. So he could just be the exception to all Tauruses.
I think you
it's possible.
Had the Sierra prayer and it worked out for you.
I think I did.
That's what you got. Unfortunately, his fellow Zodiac Signs people are not like him. That's just closed case right there.
Well, I guess there you have it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's Ask V. Stay tuned.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl V from Love Unlocked. And I just want to know, are you tired of online dating, clubs, and bars? How about try a Love Unlocked singles mixer? We host events in the DMV area in a fun and safe environment for you guys to meet face-to-face, play games, and get to know each other. And hey, you may even win a prize. Check us out at www.ilovelou.com for more information.
Hey guys, welcome back to Love Unlocked Talk, and right now we're going to get into Ask V. So I received an email from a gentleman inquiring about our dating game, and so I just want to explain a little bit further as to what this dating game is going to entail. Each week, or actually not each week, each month we're going to have a segment where we have a dating game. It's either going to be one woman and two men, or two men and one woman. The man or the woman that is the single man or woman on the show is going to be asking questions to the two contestants. When they, at the end of the show, they get to choose which women they decide they want to go on a date with. And Love Unlocked will pay for that date. So I'm encouraging everybody actually to go onto our website at www.iluvlu.com, and there is a join our podcast section where you can go ahead and submit your information and ask any questions that you need, and we will follow up with you as far as being a contestant. There really isn't any requirement for you to be on the show. If you're interested in being on the show, you'll be on the show. And we will let you know if you will be a contestant or if you will be the person choosing that week. I do have our first contestant, our first chooser lined up. He was actually on the show previously. His name is Mike, and he is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he's very interested in being on the show. So I am in search of two ladies who might be interested in participating in a dating game. I'm going to post more details on our Instagram page, which is Love Unlocked LLC. That's all one word. And just give you guys some more insight on what to do. Reach out to me, DM me, loveunlock19@gmail.com, as far as your interest, your age, your Instagram page, and we'll get you vetted and we'll make sure that you can participate in the show. We're really looking forward to getting this started. Hopefully we can get this started by the end of the month, and then we can just do it at the end of the month each month. So you'll all have an opportunity to be on the show. So right now, April Love, we have 2 guys that expressed interest in the show.
Right.
So we got to get these ladies together. I just want to say that, ladies, you guys, for some reason, this is how it was when I was hosting my events. All the guys showed up, but the ladies did not show up. So I don't really know what's going on, shift in the universe, that the men are showing up and the ladies are just MIA. But I see a lot of people complaining about being single and wanting to be in relationships. And we provide that service to you guys. And right now, this dating show is a free opportunity for you guys. We're not asking you to pay for any tickets, which normally we charge for tickets at our events. This is free. And you're also getting something out of the deal. We're taking care of your date with that person. So just be enthusiastic and try and get involved, because I think it'll be a lot of fun and a lot of really beneficial to singles. So I really hope that you guys participate. But I just want to thank you guys so much for listening, and join us next week when we return. Thank you so much. My name is V.
Bye, y'all.
All right.